mic. You're silent. I can't hear you. Yeah, really. We always start out with audio issues. I hear
No,
you now.
it was muted for some reason. Interesting. Welcome to Dumbfound Dishes Podcast. I am Mike. That is Ryan. And welcome. We are
What's
the
up,
dipshits of the
bitches?
evening.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about the podcast right before we started that. So it's a little convenient that UFO deposition, is it was a deposition, whatever it was before Congress.
It was a hearing before the committee, before the congressional committee.
Anyway, so that happens right around the time Trump is getting arrested. Biden's getting impeached, or they're filing for the impeachment of Biden.
Yeah.
Which is directly linked to the Hunter Biden laptop, which was supposedly a fake story up until a week ago, and now they're like, oh wait, no, there's something there. We need to investigate it because there's money, and And another thing that once again, Joe Rogan brought this up that I didn't think about, but he's an artist who sells art for millions of dollars. Hunter Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that how people? Isn't that how rich people launder money?
Yes. And for years, this is something that was a big practice. Like, the Nazis were going to launder money with all that artwork that they stole, and a lot of con artists they use as not a commodity. What's the word? Something that represents it's like an NFT.
It's like owning gold.
Yeah, and they would just inflate the value and hide money in that. Somehow, I don't know how it works. I don't know how the money disappears into the artwork, but somehow it hides money for the value of that art. You just say that art is worth $1.5 million when fuck all, it's worth maybe $30,000, and that's how you hide $1 million, pretty much. And by saying that it's But
so,
I think that could be shady.
So what happened?
Why was he an artist? Maybe he was into it, but maybe he's the son of a fucking politician, and that's a way to hide shit. I don't know.
We'll do a full episode of all the details on this one day because there's a lot of it.
Well, when they actually release all of the fucking declassify all the information from the laptop, then we could probably have a Diesel episode on just that, because now it's all bits and pieces for the last 2+ years that people have been talking about it.
So the topic was the Clout Chaos. Clout Chaos.
Clout Chaos.
So you don't even live in New York, and you knew about this, and I didn't even know about it. I saw a video online of it, and I was like, well, what am I watching? And I didn't realize what it was. It was just a clip of a cop getting stuff thrown at him. Now,
several cops were getting stuff, and they were.
So from your knowledge, what happened?
Okay, I can't remember the guy's name, but some content creator name starts with an M, I think. I'm out of touch. Boomer, sorry, my boomer's showing. But an influencer was giving away, was staging a clout giveaway for I don't know, some sort of electronic. Maybe it was PS5s. I'm guessing, because I'd want a PS5.
So he was giving away something, and it caused people to go fucking nuts.
I think he may have only anticipated 1,000 or 2,000 people were going to show up, but I think I don't know. I'm guessing 30 to 50,000 people showed up.
Okay, well, I'm glad I let you describe it before I let the news report do it, so we could see how much you actually fucking know and how much you fucking have no fucking idea.
But that is the summary from what I understand of it so far. I don't know. I know that the guy turned himself in, I guess.
I remind me later. I'm just saying it now. Remind me to bring up moment of contact later on in the episode.
Okay, moment
of contact. Because I want to do a UFO episode. That's just yes. Okay. So here's a video from the libs of TikTok. What's going on here? Okay. What's going? Do they have swords? Are those ninja swords? What'd you say?
Looks like broomsticks.
What the? All those hooks. Throw an uppercut, man. Throw it straight down the middle. What the hell?
Wow, they all have. Yeah, that's a mob with weapons.
Yeah, white people are crazy. All right, so now let's skip to an actual article about the.
Cheers, everyone.
Video game giveaway.
We're
Criminal
drinking
charges have been filed against the social
Japanese
media.
tonight.
Charges have been
whose
filed.
Video game giveaway prompted
Video game
mayhem in
giveaway.
New York City.
Mayhem.
Kai Cenat is accused of
Kai
inciting a riot
Cenat?
during the unpermitted event.
Oh,
CBS's
well,
Michael.
okay. You arrange an unpermitted event in New York City in Union Square.
It's unlawful assembly.
I'm
right?
not even referring to how unlawful it is. I'm referring to how fucking stupid it sounds.
That's the crime. Is unlawful assembly. I think is
Just
the crime.
saying, it sounds fucking stupid.
I thought you had because I don't think this was staged for a protest, and it was just.
I don't think it's a protest. I think it's a giveaway, and
What I think is, I think if it's a political protest and people are protesting about a specific thing, you might be able to get away with a gathering like that, and the cops will just disperse it. But if it's just for some like stupid thing, like I'm giving away fucking iPhones or some shit, and people start flipping cars and beating people with sticks, it's a little. That's pretty fucking serious. That's crazy. At least when I was living in New York back in the day, it was like squatters' rights riots in Tompkins Square Park, and you know what I mean? And like Al Sharpton marching up 20th Avenue after.
Al Sharpton.
Yeah, you know.
George joins us now from New York with more on what happened. Michael, good evening.
Robert, good evening. It was supposed to be a giveaway. Kai Cenat told more than 6 million followers he was giving $400 PlayStations away for free. But it went awry, ending with injuries, property damage, dozens of arrests, and criminal charges for the popular social media influencer.
We're not going to do nothing until it's safe.
That moment never came for popular live streamer Kai Cenat. His unsanctioned video game concert.
What the fuck is that? Oh,
That's
you know what?
That's about 30,000 people just in the park.
I just want to point out the epic placement of my monitor on my desk and the screen on the because look, I'm pointing at my monitor, but I'm pointing at the screen. I didn't do that intentionally. It's fucking genius.
Look at that shit.
Soul giveaway in New York's Union Square drew a
I've always wanted to climb on those things. I just never thought about doing it.
I'm sure other people have done it before.
crowd of thousands
I mean, I'm pretty sure in New York you can't even get arrested for this shit now.
and spiraled into mayhem. Cenat was ultimately slapped with charges, including
Did the news literally just say he was slapped with charges?
You know what's amazing? What's amazing is that like they have the gathering of the Juggalos every year, and this shit never happens at those events.
I can tell you why.
Why? Because it's a mob of incels, and these are a mob of clout chasing, PlayStation chasing motherfuckers.
Well, the first part you were right.
Well, they're chasing PlayStations too. I mean, honestly.
into mayhem.
Listen,
Cenat
slapped
was
with
ultimately
charges.
slapped with charges,
Slapped with charges.
including inciting a riot and unlawful assembly.
The PlayStation. What happened, sir?
Fans
What the guy say?
Can my
What
son
he
get a PlayStation? No kidding. I don't know what. Hold on. What do you say? Hold on.
What happened to the PlayStation?
was ultimately slapped with charges, including inciting a riot and unlawful assembly.
What happened to the PlayStation?
Can I have one of the PlayStations? That's what I hear.
Fans surged Cenat's vehicle when he arrived at the park.
Once the people for the giveaway started coming out, that's when like they started to get out of control.
Police say some in the crowd started throwing supplies from a nearby construction site, lit fireworks, and scaled street poles as 1,000 officers tried to control the chaos.
We're fucked. We're fucked.
Bro.
Hold on. This is just showing the world. This is just showing the world how like our government can't handle the people. So like if the world, say if Russia wants to destroy the United States, incite riots everywhere over nothing, over fake news. Oh wait, that's already been happening. Oh
Mike,
wait, they're already doing that. They're already doing that.
You know what we need?
A
We
revolution.
we need Anonymous to come back.
But that could have just been Russia fucking with people. Although they've allegedly hacked Russia at one point, hacked some database in Russia.
I think more than once. Yeah, but yeah.
But
I mean, I don't know.
seriously.
I'm just saying. I remember when it was like, and not even that long ago, it was Zuccotti Park, the 1%ers. You know what I mean? Everybody was pissed off about like, and now you know, now it's riots for PlayStations, dude. You know what sucks about this is that this shows you how many people don't have a PlayStation 5 yet.
Wow, bro. We are privileged motherfuckers.
I feel like I shouldn't talk about, like, now because I play video games. I'm like, now I gotta whisper to people, like, yo, dude, do you have a PlayStation 5? And if the other person's like, yeah, I got it. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. I didn't want to tell you about all this awesome fucking gaming. And you don't have one because you might stab me for a fucking PlayStation 5 or beat somebody with a stick in Union Square.
So a guy I was working with was like, the show The Last of Us was just gonna come out soon, and I was talking about the game, and he's like, oh, I just gotta do it. I just gotta buy a PS5 and just do it. My wife's gonna kill me, but I gotta just do it. He's like, why do you want to do it? He's like, I want to play The Last of Us. I'm like, okay. And then
just
for
the
the longest time, I've been talking about the game, talking about the show, and he's like, that's it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And then the next day he comes and goes, I did it. My wife's gonna kill me. I don't think she was his wife yet, but she's like, she's gonna kill me. We're saving for a wedding. And then he bought the game, and then he's playing the game. He's like, Mike, this game's incredible. I was like, I told you. I fucking told you.
Wasn't that like for a long time there was no games that won that many awards, right?
I think it's still considered the greatest game ever made.
People started climbing up on the subway stations, and then people started throwing water bottles. I had to protect my children.
More than 65 people were arrested. About half were underage.
This is not a policing issue. This is a parenting issue.
Mayor Eric Adams.
That is the most conservative ass shit I've ever heard in my life. He's like, parents, but listen.
He's not wrong. I don't like him. I think he's a terrible mayor. But he's not wrong.
This is not a policing issue. This is a parenting issue.
Mayor Eric Adams questioned if parents knew their kids' whereabouts yesterday.
But that just shows he's very ignorant to New York City life to begin with.
Well, I mean, he was NYPD for a long time, right?
There's shootings all the time. There's robberies all the time. It's not 40-year-olds doing it half the time.
It's never ended, but it slowed down from one decade to another and to another. It went up and down a lot, but now it's up, right?
This is going to sound funny. As much as stop and frisk has affected me, has affected you, has affected everyone we possibly know. All the friends I grew up with that hung out in East New York, they've all been harassed. I mean, they've been framed for weed that wasn't theirs. They were like, yo, if I had weed, it wouldn't be a little nick bag. You put that in the car. They're like, no, it's yours. We found it. You're going to jail. Everyone's going to jail.
Dude,
my friend would never have a nick on him. Never. What do we need? It's like 4 of them. What are we gonna do with a nick bag? There was like a bag of regs, so they locked him up. So stop and frisk. I know people, and I've been harassed with that shit.
They came out it was me and 3 other people. The van was still rolling. There was still a cop in the van rolling. They all on their own, and I think they discussed it before they rolled up on us. We're doing this like Hawaii 5-0 style. And 2 dudes jumped out of the sliding door on the side, guns drawn, after me and my friends finished smoking a blunt.
Oh, yeah, I remember the story. But where I was going with this was this. Where I was going with this is this. When I say it worked, it's not because I just think you need to search those people, whatever that might mean. Because we have been harassed by this. But unfortunately, it works.
Yeah.
I have a friend, an acquaintance, who was arrested with a gun on him because of stop and frisk. Luckily, he got away with it because it was still an unlawful search and seizure.
Yeah.
But he probably shouldn't have had the gun.
Yeah, but you want to know, like to that point, I definitely misbehaved plenty, but I behaved a whole lot more due to that being a thing.
Yes, well, that too.
You know what I mean? Like, I was conscious of, like, I don't want to be out here.
Now, the problem with stop and frisk is, in my opinion, and many other, actually, to the opinion of the majority, because they got rid of it, is unfortunately you also allow cops to profile people and harass people.
It goes along with it. That's the
problem. And, like, do I agree with the tactics they used? No.
Did it
never work? Unfortunately, it did.
Yeah, it's never random is the fucked up part. And if it is random, that's even worse. Because then you're just randomly
Picking people, randomly picking
you're
people.
violating rights. Yeah, that's automatically you're violating rights no matter what you're doing.
And said the city is investigating whether outside agitators were involved.
You don't come to get free Game Boys and bring.
Yo, he said Game Boys. He said fucking Game Boys, bro. Yo,
smoke bomb.
thanks for the throwback. I really enjoyed that. I would have rioted for a Game Boy back in 1989 when I got it for Christmas, but I got it for Christmas.
I've never had that mentality. I don't know.
And bring M80.
I was 8 years old, so
Okay, wow.
You know what I mean? An 8-year-old would riot for a Nintendo back in the 80s.
What the fuck are they dancing on top?
Bring smoke bombs and bring M80s.
Look at this. Look, that's epic.
And police say they're still looking for 8 more rioters who they say damaged a parked NYPD vehicle. Robert?
Michael George, thank you. Criminal charges have been filed
Cameras,
against...
bro. Cameras. You can't do shit like that in major cities. There are cameras fucking everywhere. Fuck us watching Ring camera shit, Mike. There are legit, like, you touch a cop car, they could pretty much figure out who the fuck you are if you've ever lived in the area.
I know they're Thanks, I know they're dancing. Well, they call that dancing.
It's dancing, but they're breaking windows while they're dancing, Mike. It's just window break dancing. That's what it is.
Urging in on each other and
is this an hour script? What?
And buckets, and it looked like a total mess here. That people, it was, and now, and I want to bring you back to these live pictures to show you. I told you earlier.
This is live, right? This is not live right now. This is live then.
At the moment, at the time.
Police were able to clear that for a little while, but now they are going back up. Originally, they were using a ladder. Now they've got people up on the roof, and they're holding out hands for other people and just pulling them up onto the roof of the subway station.
There's riots like this in France over unions being screwed over.
Dude, this is a riot and half the people who are rioting are holding phones up. You saw that, right? It's like while the chaos is going on, everybody's like this.
Yeah.
Everybody's like this, like
clout chasers.
Yeah.
They did manage to get the ladder away from them, and presumably that ladder was there for the construction happening in this area. But the crowds are trying to get up on the roofs of this.
This generation was raised on Grand Theft Auto. They knew how to get up there.
We showed you the statue and the crowd was gathered around this. Now we've got some people up on the statue, but a lot of that crowd has dispersed. So it is.
Yo, I would have jumped up on that horse like, and we're like, woo!
It's just a scary prospect here. Again, police aviation overhead trying to get a handle on this too, and trying to position police officers.
But
where
listen,
they need them. But I keep being drawn.
This
back
influencer
to this
dude,
picture here.
you know, I guess he proved the point in a way, like. From a society sort of perspective, that you don't need much. And the linchpin could be something as easy as a PlayStation 5, dude. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. Not my politics, your politics. Like, I want a PS5. It's like materialism at its worst, right? Would you say?
100% at its worst. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Much appreciated. But we're appreciating a riot right now.
I wouldn't say we're appreciating a riot.
Riots have changed. This is a new evolution of riot.
Well, look at this guy. What's he doing? What's the guy in the red hat doing? Did you see that? Look at the guy. Watch the guy in the red hat. See the guy in the red hat?
Threw something at the cops, right?
No, he didn't. He's recording. He's talking. He's shaking his phone in the air, and then some people throw stuff at him. He gets smacked in the face with a bottle.
6 trains are right now bypassing 14th Street Union Square Station in both directions.
Fuck that, bro. I would be like, I'm not getting out here. I used to have to transfer there.
Jesus. Okay. So, to a lot of untrained eyes, this will be like insane, but you've never been to like Ozfest or
Woodstock
or Woodstock. I didn't go to Woodstock, but Woodstock. You know what I went to?
Or the Wacken Open Air Festival in fucking in Europe, and where's that? Poland or some shit?
Is it Poland?
Or Germany?
But this is everyday life in the mosh pit or a concert.
Has been a construction area for weeks now. That's that big entrance to the train station right there in Union Square Park. Probably why they were able to find a ladder around there, and I'm assuming the workers once they.
Yeah, technically Black Friday is like
Okay.
Black Friday is
No. Stop. Let's be real here. The reason why Black Friday no one gets trampled anymore is because Black Friday now starts on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, it's
and
like
it
Wednesday
goes
now.
until Black Friday.
I think that thanks to Amazon saves lives every year. Amazon, Walmart.com, all of these.
You didn't get trampled at the store because of Amazon.com and
because you
Walmart.com.
were home doing it. You were home doing it, and it's keeping people safe. Regardless that it's turning us into like sort of like dependent robots to like the system in some Matrix kind of fucking way in this simulated universe that we live in.
Yep.
That now is not 13 billion years old. That now is 27 billion years old. You know that, Mike? Since we've been sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
the universe has now been up to 27 billion years old. And the Big Bang probably didn't happen. It's just maybe always has and ever will be and has been.
I thought it was either that the Big Bang happened a longer time ago than they originally predicted, or there was no Big Bang and time is infinite and it's been going on forever.
They think that in this infinite universe there could have been Big Bangs just happening.
So
that
we're just one of the Big Bangs of the many Big Bangs, and there could be more Big Bangs, and
not even a sparkle inside the Big Bang. That's how small we are in the fucking immensity of what everything is. Like forever and ever and ever. Infinity. But that's all still theory, right? It's all theory. And there's theory with this too, with Clout. Like, listen, one of the I'm sure a lot of people watched yesterday because I watched yesterday, and the Paul brothers are the kings of Clout. Like, I guess you could say like they started this Clout culture.
Okay. So people are gonna be like, okay, so many different things people could say. So, yes, he fought a washed up, no longer active UFC fighter.
Is there anything more you have to say about him other than just what happened yesterday? Because you know, like he got to that point to happen to fight a washed up 40-year-old
that's what
UFC fighter.
That's all he fights.
But made a lot of money doing it. Like that was a lot of people got paid yesterday.
Well, yeah,
like
a lot of people.
But what does it do? What does it do to fighting and fight sports? You know what I mean? Like, is it doing what this is doing to Union Square? To fight sports, like really causing fucking chaos, or what?
I don't think so. I think it gets more eyeballs on it. Definitely, people that haven't watched it before might watch it again now and might continue to watch it.
A lot of people like it.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing Mayweather is doing too.
Yeah, but people are getting paid fairly, I believe. Well, boxing promotions, I think, are better with fighter pay, right? No, they're known more.
Yeah, I think Nate Diaz probably doesn't need to really fight another day in his life with all the money he's made fighting McGregor and now Logan Paul.
Paul, yeah. Well,
I mean,
like
Paul? You're right. Yeah, Logan.
Jake.
It was Jake.
Jake Paul is the one who has been fighting. Logan Paul did fight Mayweather. But he's the WWE guy, is Logan Paul. And he's the guy...
They're the same person in my brain, by the way.
About, like, fucking Clout gone bad, he's the brother. Logan Paul's the brother who got in trouble for going in the suicide forest back in the day. Do you remember that YouTube video? And it was like one of the first canceled YouTube videos. They made him pull it because he went into the suicide forest somewhere in Japan. Do you know about this place?
Yes, and there was a body, and they made fun of the body.
And they got mad views because he got crazy views. Like he was like, and listen, speaking about Clout gone bad, I think there's a documentary on Netflix about this. I just am now watching sports documentaries since the Michael Jordan Last Dance. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, sport. I'm like, this is me in my menopause stage.
You're watching sports documentaries. I'm over here watching UFO documentaries.
Well, I'm still watching those too, in the interim. But and apparently they actually really did hate each other. So it made the clout chasing made two brothers fucking hate each other because they were trying to, views to viewership each other on the internet, and it caused them a rift. I guess they're friendly with each other now because now they have more money than fucking God. But
do they have more money than God? Well, God was poor, wasn't he?
Saying,
well, we don't know who God is. What am I saying? It was Jesus that was poor, but
Jesus was poor. The entity of God, I guess, if you could say God is infinity, has domain over everything. So,
Dominion?
if you want to tag some sort of materialistic human sort of construct to it, I guess he would be the richest. If you would call God he or she or them, whatever God is.
Okay. Here's what I wanted to bring up.
Are you God, Mike? Am I God? Are we God?
So, that the hearing before Congress, we watched some of it live on the episode. Not live, but, live. But anyway. And the descriptions from the Graves guy, I forgot Mr. Graves, and then Grouch, and Fravor. So, today, I started watching Unsolved Mysteries, and there's like a story from like the 60s not the 60s, what was it? It was, actually I can find it. So, okay, what I'm going to say, what I started realizing is that all these sightings, including the ones that you would assume are fake because they're on like some stupid TV show, sound the same. Like, and now you have that just makes in my brain it makes this thing that happened before Congress a bigger deal. Yes, it's probably there to distract us because where'd it go? Because this happened and no one talks about this. I didn't know about this. No one's talking about this, but this actually happened.
I didn't. When I heard this, I did not hear it on. This is Associated Press.
Yeah.
You're going to hear it on Associated Press. You're going to hear it like through Reuters or other outlets like that. I skimmed through all the channels. My local news station.
Right? Nothing.
Nothing on CNN. Nothing on Fox News. Nothing on NBC. Nothing on.
But I like how they word it. That they filed for articles of impeachment against Biden, but that doesn't mean he was impeached. When they filed against Trump, there was a big article with like, it has been filed, and like, here we go. It's like, let's be
honest. It was a little bit more of a let's get him kind of like lynch mob for Trump. You know what I mean?
But what I'm saying is,
they jumped the gun with like saying things as conclusions when nothing ever got like pushed forward until now, because he did, have to be arrested this week. It just passed. All this stuff is going on as UFO shit is starting to be like revealed to us, or is it just being revealed to us now, just to like sort of smokescreen all the other bullshit that's going on that might be coming out because of the laptop, the Hunter Biden laptop, that might be going down because Trump is going to court now, pre-election, which could fuck his chances of running, which will really mix up the fucking pot, because what happens when all you have left is Biden, DeSantis, Kennedy, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Various others that are still in the mix, because you have big voices like Christie, on the right, and Pence is still like sort of involved in a lot of this shit, even though nobody's really backing him. He's still like, and then on the left side, you got, if Biden's not healthy enough to run, Kamala Harris could be jumping in.
No, they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna use her.
Gavin Newsom could be fucking up.
That's who.
The face of the Democratic Party right now.
And I really hope he does not win anything, to be honest. I don't know. This is gonna be a shit show. Again, we're stuck with the worst of the worst.
It hasn't stopped being a shit show.
You don't. No. Yeah. Exactly. Well. Okay. No.
I want to say it's been a shit show since 2015. But the real shit show started in 2016, and ever since 2016, Harambe got shot, and that's like the beginning of the fucking.
No, it's not. I mean, JFK was assassinated. We go further back. It's been a shit show.
I think shit was all right in the 90s, and even though 9/11 happened, shit was still pretty okay for the beginning of the aughts. You know.
I don't know.
It's a shit show now, and it's definitely been a shittier show since 2016.
Yes. Well, okay. So, I have a question.
Not for any particular reason, for a lot of reasons, Harambe being one of them.
If Trump has never said a word, right? He never spoke. He never spoke.
Do you mean he's like Black Bolt from the Inhumans? Like if he opens his mouth, he just destroys everything?
No. But just imagine for a second, he's never spoken.
Okay.
And there was no controversy about him paying off a hooker and all that nonsense, grabbing by the pussy, none of that.
Porn star.
On paper, would he have been a good president?
I know there's a lot of stuff that nobody talked about that he passed, but his personality ruins. Oh, well, yeah. Yes. If he never spoke, would he have been a good president?
And the answer is yes. Hold on. I'm not a fan. I wasn't a fan.
He wouldn't have been a bad president.
But there was almost peace in the Middle East.
Almost.
Well, because they didn't follow the plan. You ever watch someone actually go by what they were talking about? The deal was simple, and if the Taliban broke the deal, they were going to annihilate them. But when they broke the deal, Trump was no longer in power, and they did nothing. Like there was a whole system.
And a bunch of people died in the exit too.
And if Trump was so bad and his policies were so bad, why didn't they change them all? Biden re-signed a lot of the policies Trump already had in play, including the taxing. Everyone's complaining about the taxes.
You know,
they weren't changed. Nothing was changed.
A lot of other people on inner circles have to agree to shit, and the president, you know, like tax a lot of that stuff to the bottom of a bill, and then it gets passed, and then there's a lot of laws that just pop up like, oh, when the fuck did that happen? Oh, well, you remember that time that there was the disaster relief thing, and we needed to like sort of help everybody. Well, on that bill, there was something about like there's a tax now on breathing air.
Well, that's what they do.
And they all agreed on it. It was like, we didn't vote on it. It was like, no, but your representative did. And whether or not they voted yes or no is irrelevant because it got passed, and you or whatever.
So, like, as much as people hate Rand Paul, there was like a day where Rand Paul, there was a new bill put forward, and they were going to vote on it. And Rand Paul and a few other people were like, hey, this is 2,000 pages. How are we supposed to read this in a day to vote on it?
It's a lot of words, bro.
It's not possible. Actually, I think it was the Green Act, the New Deal, the Green New Deal that didn't pass or whatever nonsense it was. The New Green Deal or some.
Say green one more time. I think, yeah, vaguely. I mean, look.
Yeah, it was called the Green New Deal.
The Green New Deal, yeah. I'm somebody who follows politics, but quickly forgets, like a goldfish, because politics is so traumatizing.
Well, you can't forget. That's how we get in the situations we're in now. We keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again because we have such a short memory as a species in general.
It's not really a short memory. It's just selective.
Oh,
memory.
I was watching that Graham Hancock thing on Netflix.
Okay, yeah. I like his theories. I like that thinking out of the box shit. I don't think he's right about everything, but I like that whole perspective on Egypt and shit. I love it. But the thing is, like, I feel like the documentary was like a little hyped up, like hyped him up with the music. I'm like, the music didn't have to be so intense.
Well, no, I mean that's how they do it. But let me just stop. I was going to say the opposite of what you said. I was going to say I'm sold. We are a species with amnesia.
I think we have way older shit than we're even.
Okay, and I have another weird theory. You ready for this? What if the human race, or the human race, not the race, the human species, Homo sapiens, have lived on this planet for as long as much longer than we know of, and
so
say
5 million years
the last time a comet hit the Earth, say the humans were alive and they knew it was coming. So they decided to hide the best place they could possibly hide, which was deep in the ocean, the depths of the ocean, like Marianas Trench. And what if all these UFO sightings that all seem to be linked with water? They're all linked to water. All the sightings linked to water.
So
they're all above water. What if this is the human race from like just that was
like, and they're almost evolved into like godlike, like
not even godlike creatures, just their technology they have.
No, wait, Mike. Maybe one of them did, and he's like their lord and savior, and then they go to war with Wakanda. And then there's a huge race war.
No, but think about it for a second. No,
there's a huge race war between the ocean people.
Wow, the Puerto Ricans and the blacks? The Puerto Ricans and the blacks?
It was the Mayans. They were like Mayan.
Yeah, the Puerto Ricans.
No, the Mexicans. They're from Mexico.
Same
Yucatan.
thing.
Well, or just Central American, really, because all those Mayan ruins are in Belize, are in Guatemala, are in like they're all over.
All over the place.
They're finding them, dude. That's another thing to your point, right? With the Graham Hancock shit, they think some of these mounds, they're finding mounds in the middle of the Yucatan jungle
that aren't mountains. They're temples.
That aren't Mayan.
Pyramids. Oh.
That aren't Mayan. That are like maybe the precursor to the Mayan civilization, but were like maybe they're burial, but they could, that whole when they survey with that aerial shit. Like where they find that snake thing in Ohio.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, they're like, at the beginning, they're like, that was an accident. Then they're like, the Native American tribes did it, but then they're like dating it. And it's like 4,000 years old or some shit, right? And it's like, but hold on a second. Somebody built this. Yeah, there were humans here 12,000 years ago, we know. But historians don't like to go back too far. And I don't think they give certain people credit that should probably deserve more credit for having a civilization way before we realized. Like they're finding cities in like the Sahara.
Sorry, I
like,
didn't know about
this,
so I'm sharing it. I didn't know about this, so I'm sharing it. So they found this snake-looking thing in Ohio, and what? It's 800 BC.
Yeah, they think it's. Well, I said 4,000, but it's way older than
Hold
like.
on.
It's way older than 800
was
years old.
internationally known national historic landmark built by ancient American Indian cultures of Ohio. And our next sponsor is Pineapple Martini by Absolute.
Cheers.
Cheers. I guess we're going to go late tonight. So
yeah, this thing. Okay, I think the people who curate the area, like the people who like own the museum plot, I think it's public land. But the people who curate the area, like,
this is disgusting.
They believe that it's younger. They believe that it's like a couple of 100 years old. But in the Graham Hancock doc on Netflix, they say it's like thousands of years older than that. And they're saying, would you say 800 BC?
Yeah.
Which would make it almost 3,000 years old?
Yeah.
Right?
But even then, that's crazy, 3,000 years old. Because that's way before...
Because they don't have evidence of things... Oh, aside from the thing, where is it? In New Mexico or Arizona? Where is that where they found the cannibal fucking... there was like some proof of cannibalism, of some like sacrificial pit. Out west, southwest.
We went too far. I went into the depths of another talk that I didn't want to have.
About what?
So, okay, the Moment of Contact. Have you watched it?
No.
It's free on Crackle, which is an illegal download. But you don't have to download it. It's live. You just watch on Crackle. Anyway, it's free.
Okay.
You could pay for it at Amazon, but I'm broke right now. There's a protest. I'm not working Amazon, guys, so don't sue me. I'm watching it on Crackle. I would pay the $2 it is on Amazon, but I'm not working. But anyway, so
sponsored by Crackle.
So, like, I wish we can watch it live and do a whole 2-hour review as we watch it live, but we'll get taken down in probably minutes.
Oh, they've been blinding fast with taking us down.
Yes.
They're practicing their jujitsu with their takedowns of our content.
So Moment of Contact is about in the 60s. There was a UFO crash in Brazil, and there's literally mounds of records that this actually happened. mounds of evidence that this was real.
From the Brazilian military or the local government or what?
From the hospitals, from the local residents.
Like people got hurt from it?
From the local residents, from hospitals, from military, from the whole town. It's like a thing in the town. Like when you walk into town, there's a monument of a shape of a UFO that crashed there.
Like a population of people knew about this and were
They
there when
all
it happened.
experienced it and witnessed it. There's papers. They asked when it happened. When it happened, the government, apparently the U.S. government, asked everyone to write what happened separately without talking to each other and draw a picture of what you saw. And everyone's picture was the same.
Yeah.
Were the same.
Yeah.
There's evidence that a Brazilian soldier, picked up the creature, held it in his arms because it was injured, took it to a hospital. The hospital refused to take it because they didn't know what the fuck it was. He went to a second hospital, and at that hospital, government agents were there that took it. More military guys were there that took it away from him. That same guy developed an infection that they couldn't cure and killed him 5 days later.
Oh, fuck. Oh, because maybe...
He touched it. Yeah. And it could have been some kind of... there's all this... and now, to my point, what I was going to say now is the descriptions of the cracks that they saw.
Which would happen, like foreign bodies in foreign bodies,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what makes it even more weird is the description of the crafts they witnessed match the stories we heard before Congress by those guys.
Yeah.
The Tic Tac...
And this new video that they're showing of fucking.
There's a new one?
I think so. I seen one where there were two in formation, two, and then a third one I think, and they were white in daytime, it was shot in daytime. But I've been tricked before. But this is something that I've seen recently that was out. I've seen a couple of videos of it.
Hold on, let's see.
Reports come in of a strange object in his airspace. As the pilot scans the skies, he also takes out his cell phone.
Nah, this isn't it.
He's getting with his cell phone, though. This is cell phone footage.
Did you catch that? It's not something you'd have seen in Top Gun. Let's zoom in.
This is old, but there's... And that's what they see. That's what they always see.
According to journalist Amy Title, when this video was shown to Congress, the mysterious craft shook the halls of Capitol Hill.
The U.S. government could not say for certain what is...
But this is not it.
That's not it. It's not.
Videos
either way.
by U.S. Navy personnel have added a new layer of evidence inside a Navy ship have hours. I-Team reporter George for years or so UFOs during encounters with the U.S. Navy.
That's the famous one. That's the Tic Tac.
The Pentagon has censored data to go along with it.
It's regular news, dude. It's regular news.
For 2 long hours on the night of July 15, 2019, the crew of the USS Omaha detected on multiple sensor systems unknown objects that surrounded the ship as it moved through ocean waters west of San Diego.
I'm telling you, this is us. This is us when we live. This is the underground people of us. They look nothing like us. Remember how they're always the gray, scaly skin or gray, wet, moist-looking skin? Because they're not in the sunlight. They're in the base. They're in the basement. They're underground. The basement.
I think they are in the.
There's a movie about this. It's called The Time Machine, with what's his name, Guy Pearce.
It's Jules Verne.
Yes.
That's the story.
But he goes into the future after the moon crashes into the Earth.
The mole people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Morlocks? No, are they called Morlocks?
I don't remember.
What are they called? But they're like mole people.
Imagine. It's the mole people. Wow.
They're living in a different atmosphere.
Yes, but I totally believe this could be possible because we know the Earth has been struck many times by comets and it basically annihilated everything on the surface of the Earth.
Now, my question is, Mike, right? Can these undersurface people, right? Let's just call them, just to be politically correct, undersurface people.
Now we have to name an episode that we talk about UFOs. The undersurface people.
Undersurface people.
Undersurface people.
So let's talk about these undersurface people.
Okay.
Do you think that they have? All right. Obviously, the theory would state that they have advanced our
They
technology.
probably okay. So
have they been able to go to the moon and fucking Mars and like Jupiter all along?
Probably with no problem. But hold on. Maybe not. Maybe they were never able to leave the atmosphere. Maybe they never focused. Maybe they were a society that never focused on leaving.
Maybe
they focused on.
Maybe they need us to get off the planet.
Why would they want to get off?
Because the planet's gonna fucking explode.
Maybe that's why they're coming out now. Maybe that's why they're coming out now. And they're like, what the fuck are you guys? See, look, imagine this. There was a society of humans that grew very advanced.
Okay.
And they knew a comet was going to come and destroy them, so they had to somehow get off the surface. They said, we'll be safe deep in the core of the Earth. Let's get out of here. So they leave. Boom. Goes off. Comet hits the Earth. Most of mankind's annihilated. And that's the theory that they had, that what's-his-name has, too. That at one point there was an impact on the Earth that wiped the human population down to only a few hundred. Maybe a few hundred people.
They said that there was maybe a handful of tribes that we all came from that were left over.
Yes.
After
So maybe that's because the rest of them went underground, and those are people that remained on the surface. The people underground continued to advance differently than the people on the surface because they were basically zapped back to the Stone Age.
Under the pressure, too. And that also. But under the surface, they were under the pressure. They advanced faster. But maybe they know that now it's not we're getting hit by an asteroid. It's the core is going to explode.
Well, maybe they're like, wait, what the fuck is going on? You guys are about to annihilate each other. Can we all just like figure this out and fix the planet? Because if the planet dies, we all die.
Or maybe they know the planet's going to die and they need us.
You keep going with that scenario.
Get off of the planet.
It's like, yeah, we can like terraform down there and we can go up and down and really fast, but we just can't leave the atmosphere.
They want to be like, bro, we could take all this water with us and just dump it on Mars. And we're like, bro. And then you'll have your oceans. And then we'll be like, bro, we'll have our continents. And it'll be like, bro. And then it might cause an atmosphere. We'll have like some sort of chemical reaction. It'll be like, bro, then we can all just live there. And this will just explode and just get sucked into the sun. It'll be like, bro, we'll live on another planet.
And you know, there's one mole person. Or what did we call him before? What was the term?
Mole people. Mole person.
No. You said it.
Undersurface people. Wait,
maybe
what did I say?
I don't know.
What did I say?
I can't rewind it now to see. But
undersurface people?
Maybe the undersurface people. Like, you know, okay. With that scenario, there's gonna be one undersurface person that says there's like 7 billion of them. Why don't we just eat them? And hopefully they don't go with that idea.
Why do you think they would eat us? I think they not have mouths? Like they just have like eye holes and nose holes. Like
maybe they'll all use this as batteries. Maybe they'll set off bombs that black out the sun and use this as batteries.
Nah, I don't think so. I think that's not likely.
No, because they're not machines.
They're not machines. They're biological.
A self-illuminated sphere, at least 6 feet in diameter, flew alongside the Omaha for an extended period and was observed through a thermal sensor in the ship's combat center. Filmmaker Jeremy Corbell released the Navy video weeks ago and says
he was on the Joe Rogan
were reported
podcast
by 8 other Navy ships in the same.
That are having similar appearing whole series up to
including these photos taken off the coast of Virginia and the better-known videos, the so-called Tic Tac incident. Release of sensor data to buttress these cases. There is now.
Well, if you can write a general that long where we're at, and the number of contacts you got, you could force the speed meters off them.
Over a period of hours, crew members on the USS Omaha, which is located in the center of this
is
radar
crazy.
screen, monitored
Just
the
everything.
approach of the unknown.
Nuts.
Everything that's happening is fucking crazy. Because, like, okay, just say it's not extraterrestrials. That means one of our enemies has fucking technology that we don't even know anything about.
Mike, I gotta ask you a question. If they were really aliens, don't you think like China and Russia would be bugging out too? And not just like trying to posture? And,
well, there's another strange
fight
thing
the war?
also. Why are most UFO sightings in the United States? There's some in South America too. There's quite a bunch, but most of them.
They happen at other places. They've happened in the East, and you know, like people been seeing shit for fucking generations, dude. people probably been seeing shit and misinterpreting it as probably like some
92% of UFO sightings
paranormal
take
experience.
place in the United States. But that's only going to be based off of the reported UFO sightings. Reported.
Do you
So
think
there
it's
could be
possible?
lots of unreported sightings.
Do you think it's possible that they're idiocracying people by talking about false, not real fucking alien shit?
I don't know.
Just to make us all feel
I mean, I do know. Probably not. What am I saying? I don't know.
I mean, I've always believed that there's some other shit going on, and we don't know everything. Like how the fucking universe works.
Speak for
and how-
yourself. I know absolutely everything. Okay? We live in a simulation. Okay? Where are you? We live in a simulation. None of this is real. This is just the Matrix. And
I'm gonna break the wall. Oh no! We should do that. Like you put something offside camera, like oh, put it there and I grab it.
hold on. Where's your drink? Where's your drink? Here, take that switch. Take this one. I'll give me yours.
All right.
Here. I don't think it worked.
Oh, wow. You'd have to have it staged like right next to you off the camera.
I know.
At least we're
This
trying
is
to be
fucking
creative
disgusting.
right now. And why drink it? Don't do that to yourself.
But
Don't
I
do it.
can't waste it.
Just because the can is open. That's alcoholism, Mike. That's alcoholism.
It's called pineapple martini, but it has like a mint aftertaste.
Because, mint? That's like a mojito has mint, right?
Like there's pineapple, but like I don't know.
Well, I'm doing Japanese whiskey. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Mike, drink your garbage, Mike. Like, drink it. So, now, if this is all really something that's going down, right? Now, pop culture says all of these things could happen once people start making contact with whatever this is, like alien, mer people, whatever you call it, right? They're obviously alien to us because this is something new. This isn't like people have been having contact with ET on the regular kind of shit. So if this is really something that's happening, you would figure the whole world would be sort of hype on it or not hype on it. And you don't hear like what anybody else is saying. What does Britain have to say about UFOs in the United States?
Well, so
what does fucking
that's a very good question.
Australia.
I'm in a group, and some of those members of that group are from England, from across the pond, as they would say.
Yeah.
And we manage a paranormal group. We admin it, and there was a post about Bob Lazar and the UFO sightings. And they asked me, they're like, "Hey Mike, should we let this go through or whatnot?" I was like, "Yeah, you don't know about that?" Like, not a clue.
Totes.
Why? And I
100%.
was like, "You don't know about that?" They're like, "No, why?" And I had to explain it all to them, and they're like, "Wait, what?" I sent them videos and links and all this stuff, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't hear about any of this in England." I was like, "You guys don't have UFO sightings?" Not like that, no. So I guess the aliens don't like the Brits.
Or is it just we have some fucking crazy tech that we're just not ready to
We were the
unleash?
first people to drop a nuclear bomb on somebody. We were the first and only people to drop a nuclear bomb on someone.
But there was a race to
Twice.
Yes. And a lot of testing. I think we tested the most. And Russia caught up for a little while, but we still continued testing, even though we shook hands and said we wouldn't. Like
Didn't Russia wasn't Russia able to create the nuclear bomb because of plans that were stolen? Or is that not true?
I don't think so. No. Okay. That sort of could be interpreted that way, but there were people who, there was talk that the Nazis were really ahead of everybody on it, right? And that's because of that one scientist. What the fuck is his name? In the movie, Oppenheimer's is his one of his fans. What the fuck is his name?
Einstein?
Niels Bohr. Anyway, so the Nazis were already testing shit and fucking gathering uranium and shit. The United States was stockpiling it too. That's why, like, in the movie, they had like this marble jar of how much uranium we fucking have, and we need enough to cause this fucking chain reaction, fusion fucking reaction. And really, the principle was also supposed to be from power, not just the bomb, but the bomb was supposed to be an experiment to show you how much power is released from that reaction.
So they were really just making nuclear power.
Maybe Oppenheimer thought that, but I don't think so. I think he knew that they could make a bomb out of it, and that's why the government and the military was so interested in it. And they did immediately, like, drop a bomb because they had several teams working and matching the work. So that being said, we took scientists from fucking Germany after World War II to build the Saturn V moon rocket, the rocket that got us to the moon, and we orbited the moon, fucking did all that shit. That was a Nazi rocket. That was Nazi tech. So the Russians also took scientists over.
Operation Fast and Furious.
And they had
what was it called?
They had the technology. They had it. The Russians had it. I mean, the Soviets had it. And they were building bombs too. They were also testing in the 50s also. When we were at war in Korea, they were like doing
Operation Paperclip.
Paperclip.
Operation Paperclip was during the final months of World War II. The United States undertook an enormous effort to attract Nazi scientists. In the fall of 1944.
Honeypotting. They did a lot of honeypotting. Like,
yeah.
they would like get hot,
yeah,
like women to like talk to these scientists and be like, in America.
But we would offer them partnership too. These guys were pieces of shit. These guys were Nazis. These were guys who were members of the Nazi party.
High-ranking members, yeah. But the thing is, that was the divide, because really, who won the war? It's like, yeah, the United States didn't do it alone. The USSR fucking fought against the Nazis as well.
The USSR didn't lose. They lost like half their population
they allied with us against Japan. But most of their war was against Germany, and they lost a lot of fucking people. A lot of Russians fucking died, during that war, and that country sacrificed a lot. But that's how it was picked apart. The Russians were like, we're taking these guys and you can take those guys. And they were like, all right, beat you to the finish line. And they're like, all right, bet. And they fucking went. And we're like, and then within a year, United States had a fucking bomb. But they already had tech to do it. They just needed the last couple of recruits to fucking... And the same thing with Russia. They couldn't get to it quick enough. And then the United States dropped... Like, Germany was already done. And then we were like, all right, what's next? Japan. And Truman was president because FDR was out, done, dead, right? So then they fucking were like, all right, as soon as you got that tech, we're dropping that fucking bomb. And in the movie, when you watch Oppenheimer's like blindsided. He didn't know they were going to do it. They didn't talk to him that they were going to do it.
Really?
The general just comes and is just like, yeah, dude, we did it. He hears it on the radio.
Wow. So, to this question, the government has always lied to us.
What Hiddleston is talking about is the stealth bomber project.
Stealth bomber project.
And, yeah. That they did do exactly that. We're like, well, we don't know what it is, and it was legit. It was a stealth nuclear, with nuclear capabilities. Yeah, badass though. Some badass shit. Back when I was like younger and I was like, I seen that shit, I was like, all right, might be worth the secret. You know what I mean? But if we have fucking some antimatter fucking propulsion shit, because really these ships that are moving around have some anti-gravity fucking
for real. They could
matter shit.
So I forgot who described. I know it was Bob Lazar described it as what it's doing is
space. It's warping space, and it's pulling space towards it.
Warping the gravity in front of it. So essentially, it moves forward by falling, but it's not falling anywhere. So it's always falling, but that's how it moves. It has no.
what it's doing, it's like a gravity whip. Like they throw the whip, it hits a spot, and the gravity pulls them towards it. And it looks like there's no blink that's fast enough to catch that because it's literally what would appear to be light speed to us, but isn't light speed, but it is fucking fast enough.
It's something. Yeah, it's something we can't comprehend.
Now they're talking about biological fucking being taken out of these things.
That's the whole thing. Back to the whole moment of contact. That there's a lot of evidence to say there was a body and that it wasn't a human body, and there's several witnesses, including children who are now grown up.
Well, that's like Roswell.
Yeah,
right?
man. Well, Roswell. That's the strangest thing is all these stories match each other.
But I feel like Roswell, real quick after that happened, got real fucking out of control quick with just. It was. There may have been a lot of room for embellishment in a lot of angles.
Dude, you know why that blew up real quick? Because it happened. It was in the news immediately, and it was immediately retracted. So everyone was like, cover up.
Fishy. Immediate. Yeah. Immediate fucking like red flag. Like, this was news yesterday. What the fuck happened? Oh, that didn't happen. To be like, wait, what?
So what? I couldn't find that UFO sighting you were talking about. You said there's a new one, right?
There's something that I saw pretty new. It was also like I saw it on Reels, and I saw it posted on my feed. Mike, are we gonna go on Thread?
No. I couldn't even make an account for some reason.
Why not? We should. Our name should be Thread Kaczynski.
Oh man, I don't see anything new about UFO sightings.
Our name should be Thread Bundy.
Thread Bundy. UFO hearing in Congress, we knew that. Expert says aliens are hiding in Terminator zones. What's a Terminator zone?
The fuck is that? Is that like a no-fly zone? What the fuck does that mean?
Let's see if I could share it.
So, but wait, that means... Oh, shit. So we would just be dumbfounded dipshits like we are on Instagram. They won't let you just make a new one? That sucks. Because my Facebook and my Instagram have two separate names.
So
but
apparently, there's been,
they were linked, though.
To correct what I said before, there has been over 1,000 UFO sightings across the UK.
Yeah, they see those motherfuckers too. Don't give me that bullshit that, oh, we don't see that in Britain. I don't believe that shit. They see weird shit too. Yo, I'm sure in like rural areas, like out in the middle of fucking Africa and fucking Asia and in the middle of the United States, shit is flying over that nobody really gets to see, but every once in a while somebody sees some crazy shit. And like
wow, I could zoom in.
In like rural Mexico or Canada or fucking in the fucking middle of nowhere Brazil, uncontacted fucking tribe, they've been seeing shit for years probably. You know what I mean?
A cylinder. Wow. Disc. Orb.
Is that in Turkey?
Circular. No, this is England.
This is Britain? Where? Wales? Is that Wales?
I don't know. It says it right there. Circular. Starlight.
And now, okay, then who posts this data? Oh, all right. So they're seeing them in Scotland too, in Northern Ireland. 12 sightings in Northern Ireland.
Star-like. Okay, I don't believe you there.
The Irish
Triangular, maybe.
The Irish are seeing fucking discs too.
Call the police service. Wow.
Have you ever seen an orb, Mike?
No.
I have. I saw it with another person at the same time. Not by myself. And there was a third person who we had contacted like days later that we hung out with that saw it from another neighborhood from a vantage point that confirmed our vantage point from where we were.
So you saw a UFO. How high up was it?
It seemed like it was at like helicopter level.
Yeah,
Like,
so you saw a fucking UFO, bro.
Yeah, like, and not like like you could definitely. It was glowing. My buddy, his name is Mike, right? I won't give you his last name, but
I would hope not.
let's just call him Mike. But it's not you, and he remembers it looking like a different sort of hue or color, but I just saw it was like white, maybe greenish, but it was white, like very bright, and it moved across the sky, and we were facing sort of southwest towards Caesars Bay in Brooklyn, in front of our friend's apartment building. I was sitting on a step, he was sitting on a skateboard, and we both jumped up at the same time, and we were like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? And everybody was like, what? Everybody else was facing us, because we were in like cipher position, like probably passing a blunt around, and me and him were facing out towards the street. And our friends were facing towards us and were sitting crisscross applesauce in front of us.
So so you guys had the vantage point of seeing that way.
But let's call my other friend. Her name is Corinne. She was in Bay Ridge when we were like in Bath Beach, Bensonhurst. You know, like
Yeah.
the Bay Parkway area.
Yeah.
And she said she was looking in the same direction and saw something. And I was like, "What did it look like?" She was like, "It was round and it glowed." And I was like, "All right, bet. What time did it happen?" And it was almost at like sun was about to go down, maybe 6:59, 7-ish o'clock for the time of year. And she saw it exactly the same time. She was like, I looked up and it was probably a couple minutes to 7 o'clock. And we were like, get the fuck out of here. That's crazy. And other people I heard, she's like, I heard other people, but she could have, I don't know what she heard. But me and my buddy saw it at the same time together. And it was
this
crazy.
is the one I saw today that was in Michigan in the 90s.
The emotional.
So like this also matches the story that Mr. Graves said at the testimony before Congress.
Part of the whole UFO.
Because
was how they treated my
Oh, look, Holly Graves. Is she related? Weird.
I sent my daughter Michelle to school, and the school called me within like 15 minutes, and she said, we have several reporters here wanting to talk to Michelle.
I don't care about you.
A child's I'm so 14.
Where's the video? Where's the video? This is not even about the UFO.
She's just like talking about. But check this out, dude. This is the thing. Like, I've been on the in and out with what was it that I saw. So I had long stretches of time where I was like, yo, dude, we definitely have some crazy shit that could like be like an equalizer in certain fucking political situations.
Yeah.
I believe that because of where we stood, where the United States stood in the world. Now it's sort of like, well, shit's looking a little fucking like.
Listen, if we find out, if we finally find out that maybe we're not alone in this universe and there's something else here, maybe that'll stop everyone fighting each other and we'll kind of join together. Unless some scumbag like the United States or Russia or China like teams up with these guys and we're like, yeah, fuck everyone else.
Well,
you're with us now.
Everybody else. My point is, what about everybody else? What's going on with everybody else? If this is really like something that's happening, like China's interacting with them too because they are flying around testing shit. They got tech. You know, Russia's got tech. They're flying around testing shit, actually in an active war. You know what I mean? And they have capabilities.
I think our big worry is Russia, not. I'm sorry, not Russia. I think it's China, not Russia. I think it's China. I don't think Russia has the money or the technology that Russia has. Russia has fighter drones that can go very, very far and shoot a lot of fucking missiles.
Either or one could be a little bit more of like an actual running threat than the other. But the thing is, my point is that they would have to have had these encounters with said whatever the fuck is going on. So they may have, and I'm not talking about negotiations. I don't even think anybody's communicated with any of these, whatever you call it. You know, what are the UAPs they're called now, right? Which I can never get used to that.
UAP.
I know my boomer's showing, but UFOs are just UFOs. Can they just be UFOs forever and ever?
It's UAPs now. Get over it.
I know, but I can't. Sorry. It's hard for me to adapt to this.
It's time to adapt. But, okay. So this was the one in Michigan. Now, Michigan also matches the stories that these guys just recently talked about and the stories in Brazil, which is crazy. They all sound the same.
Like a hockey puck shape of a light out there.
Just want you to know, I think I'm sold. I think I'm a full UFO guy. I think I've gone full. I want to go to my cabin in the woods that there's no lights interfering with the sky. You see everything, and I just want to stare.
I've been there. And I'm there. I'm there now. Like, now I'm like, yeah, I'm totally... I want to know what the fuck is going on, dude.
Right?
That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Otherwise, like, whatever, like, I don't have to make the decisions. Just tell me when to duck. Okay. That would be nice. You know? Tell me what's going on. Like, how are we dealing with these people or things or thems? I don't know what the fuck.
It's...
When woke culture gets a hold of what we're going to call...
Oh, God, help us. Don't do that. Don't do that. Babies.
That riot that happened in Union Square is going to happen with what we're going to call what's inside the UAP.
So this is the
Like a
Michigan
hockey puck
incident.
shape of a light out there, and it just kept going back and forth everywhere.
Oh my God! What?
So these are 911 calls, and there was like 30 of them. 30 witnesses across the Lake Michigan. Not even in the same area. And only over, it was in the winter, it was only over the area of the lake that wasn't frozen.
The board had so much traffic, they couldn't take all the calls that were coming in. These are the 34 calls that got through to what was the fuck was happening.
Going together and coming apart. Yeah, there's three, and they're lengthwise. Now I'm getting three of them. These are huge returns. I've never seen any.
There was one object, and it broke off into three. That's important that the 911 phone calls say that, because that's the same thing the radar guy sees at the
It
weather
goes
plant.
like this, and splits.
Uh-huh.
And it goes in different directions.
March 8, 1994, hundreds of people claimed to witness otherworldly lights in the sky over West Michigan.
I was talking to my friend on the telephone.
Of course.
Recorded phone.
Aw, it's Grandma. Come on.
And
I believe she saw aliens.
As soon as I started talking with her, I was looking actually at the kitchen window, and I saw these huge lights on the backyard. And first I thought it was a huge moon, full moon.
I love her accent. The backyard.
And my friend, I said, Edna, I think there's UFOs in the backyard.
Cindy Pravda watched the unusual lights for about 30 minutes from her home in Grand Haven.
I never got off the phone. I would walk from the kitchen window to the walkout here. My husband was in the basement, but I didn't want to stop looking at them. I knew if I ran downstairs, there was a chance that they'd be gone.
That night, Ottawa County Dispatch received dozens of calls all about the strange lights in the sky.
Gary Wilkes remembers that night very well.
Mike, I like how she's very matter of fact.
This is the most important. This is the most important guy, because what makes it more interesting though, like without him, the people calling 911 could just been anything. It could have been anything that they saw. But with him, it sounds so much more legit. And then without them, his story could be a mess up on the radar. But they both of this together makes it like so much more substantial.
Well, we started receiving a tremendous amount of phone calls about what they considered UFOs in the Holland area.
The Chicago Tribune reported there were more than 300 witnesses who saw the lights across 42 counties as far north as the Upper Peninsula. Dispatch eventually sent a Holland police officer to the area where one of the sightings took place to check things out for themselves.
This is the Holland neighborhood where Officer Veldhuis was first called to investigate reports of strange objects in the sky. In his police report, Veldhuis says when he arrived on this street, he met a man who had already reported seeing 2 or 3 UFOs. He then looked through the man's binoculars for himself and saw the objects. He described them as having red, white, and green lights, but he couldn't determine what shape they were.
The officer asked dispatch to call the National Weather Service in Mesquite.
So, one thing that makes me suspicious about the sightings is the color of the lights. Always the color of the lights. It's a little like too human if you understand. It's a little too human.
The thing is, I'll say, like, I saw white, but it may have been green because, dude, I don't know how to describe the bright. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know because the sun was going down at that time and could have reflected off of something. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
I don't know what color the thing was that I saw, but it was as bright and solid orb as it could be, and it moved through the sky and made no noise. You know what I mean?
Weird.
So,
to have the operator check for unidentified objects on the radar. Jack Bouchong, a now retired National Weather Service meteorologist, was the operator that was working in Muskegon
See,
that
this
night
guy's
in
story.
1994.
I was called by the Ottawa County Sheriff's Department, and they asked me to take a look at radar.
Oh my God! What is this? They were going together and coming apart. Yeah, there's three, and they're lengthwise. Now I'm getting three of them. These are huge returns. I've never seen anything like this. Not even when I'm doing storms. These aren't storms.
I went ahead and took a look down there, and I did spot one thing moving at about 100 miles per hour, not very fast, and it was over. I would say it was about right over the.
everybody saw it.
And it
Everybody saw it.
The west,
and it was like a pyramid to the vantage point. Everybody saw it from a different spot, right at the same spot.
Reached somewhere down South Haven. That's about when it started acting kind of crazy. It was it stopped and hovered for a while, and then it would dart out about 20 miles.
I remember
over,
this now.
Lake Michigan.
Yeah, shot
and then
above the water,
just instantaneously or within a few seconds, and I would have to find it again.
Cindy recalls the same movements that Jack described seeing on his radar. The lights moving erratically and quickly darting away.
They were in a stationary, in a straight line. And I would think that they were flying over the highway. It was going very slow. Then it would come back.
What happens if you see this and you start bucking shots at it?
And I just
Dude,
watched it for the longest time.
Let's just put it this way: whatever it is,
one on this side,
bullets don't mean jack shit.
What if it does? What if you pop it and it fucking crashes?
This is the thing. Can I just say this? Pause this for a second. Pause this. Let me just say this. As humans, what you have with air, anything that's in the air is like a flare that they'll shoot out to divert other rockets that are being shot at said aircraft, right? These things do not need a flare. They will evade. They will move so fucking fast.
But you gotta remember something.
They'll know when there's a projectile going at it, so it will move accordingly. You will not be able to hit it, nor will you be able to maybe penetrate one of these things.
What if it's so strong it can withstand space, but it's so weak that a bullet can penetrate it?
You would have to be like.
Remember the movie War of the Worlds? War of the Worlds.
The most accurate fucking. You'd have to be Hawkeye. You know what I mean? Or like Green Arrow or some shit. To catch this motherfucker.
How you know it's a motherfucker?
I don't know what
they don't fuck anything.
I don't think they fuck anything.
Yeah,
I think
they
they're
don't fuck anything.
I think they're like Ken and Barbie. Like there's just no genitalia. They know how to reproduce.
You've just offended me.
Apartment balcony.
Like a hockey puck shape of a light out there, and it just kept going back and forth everywhere, and then it just disappeared and went down under the trees and everything like that.
It was there 1 second, and as soon as it left, it took off, and it was gone a few seconds.
While hundreds of people in Michigan were watching the lights and dozens more calling authorities to report them, Jack was glued on his radar screen, trying to figure out what was going on.
And there was about 3 or 4 that kept following it, and every time that initial one that I saw moved, the other 2 or 3 would form a triangle. Now there was a 4th one in there, but it was,
I heard this one.
Sometimes I could see it, sometimes I couldn't. But the main one, and then there were 2 other ones that seemed to always want to be in a triangle with it, and they were about 20 miles apart from each other. And
that's crazy.
And so I once it got over water and the police officers,
you could have drones that do this now. The same movement. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
What he described, there are drones that do that. So how long ago was this? People have had drones, as far as I can remember. I remember the first time.
Hold on, this is the early '90s, but then the problem wasn't how fast it was moving. Now they don't talk about here, but in one of the interviews with him is basically when it was moving, it would move on. It would the blip would disappear, and then reappear like 20 miles away, and the speed it would have to go, it was going over faster than anything at that time can go.
Aircraft anymore. They cut off the phone, but I was able to continue watching it for another 2 hours, and I watched it move down the stem of Lake Michigan, all the way about just directly west of South Haven, and moved down towards Chicago, and then it stopped about just directly west of Benton Harbor. And
it's such a big fucking lake. That shit goes forever. It looks like that lake looks like that motherfucker goes forever.
I didn't know the biggest supply of fresh water in the world is the Great Lakes.
Great Lakes, all collectively, yeah. Lake Erie, Superior, fucking Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, a lot of water.
Michigan,
Ontario.
Stopped there, and they all hovered there for several hours, looking like. Just looked like a swarm of like flies. They were just sitting there and hovering, with a few of them moving around amongst each other in a very large round ball of a swarm of objects.
Despite all of the calls into the 911 dispatch, most of the witnesses weren't afraid by the unearthly phenomenon. Instead,
that swarm shit is like what's going on? When you see a one-off, you're like, what the fuck was that? But if you see like a bunch, it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Each of the witnesses have their own thoughts on the matter, but they all seem to lean in one direction.
I have no doubt in my mind that they're extraterrestrials. They've got all these different names for them now. And are they, who knows?
I don't know. It's a big universe out there. We don't know what's out there. We have no idea.
Gary Wilkes was working at the Ottawa County Dispatch the evening the lights were spotted, and even he doesn't doubt what the witnesses saw.
When I really don't know what they were seeing, however, I'm convinced they did see something with the enormous amount of phone calls we received that evening.
The sightings over
He's the type of guy that takes his job really seriously.
Yeah, very.
There's no 911 call operators that take the job that serious anymore.
It's like, this is my life.
Oh my God.
37 years on the job.
In 1994 garnered national attention, and even to this day is still a topic of discussion. In 2022, Netflix's Unsolved Mysteries series
so I just
ran
watched
an
today.
episode dedicated
That's
to
what I
these
just
lights in
watched.
the sky.
There are things out there that we don't understand.
I just watched that.
Do you know what, totally off topic, do you know what I watched that got me super pumped and just got me pumped for the pod? I just like to indulge a lot of the times in like a lot of old school action gore. You know what I mean? So I put on fucking Conan the Barbarian.
Wow.
The original with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yep.
And I remember how much they used to edit from the TV version of it, and it was pretty fucking brutal. Like when he hacks James Earl Jones's head off at the end of that movie, he like has to hit him a couple of times. I'm like, I just remember him going ha, and then he beheads him, and then throws his head down the stairs. No, the scene is. He holds his head by the hair, hacks him. He hacks him once, then he goes to his knees, then he grabs him by the back of the head, and then he hacks him another time. His head is still on. He's hacked twice, and then he has to hit him again, and then his body drops, and then he holds his head up, and then shows it to all of the fucking cult members at the end of the movie that are on the steps, and then throws the head down the steps. And I was like, when it was on TV, edited for television,
one shot. Well, the same thing with the Road Warrior. And Mad Max. I used to watch Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome all the time on TV.
Yeah.
It's okay. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome is a little cheesy. It's like a very culty.
But it's very entertaining,
but
and
it's good.
especially for the time.
Now, hold on. So I've watched it on TV hundreds of times. I finally watched it on like Blockbuster Video or something. I forgot why we got it, whatever. And I'm like, oh my God. I don't remember this scene. I don't remember this. I was watching on fucking Channel 5 at like fucking 2 p.m. on fucking Saturday or Sunday.
They cut like 10 to 12 minutes out of the movie.
They cut all the blood, gore, action. Like the fight when he fights the guy in the Thunderdome was like half the time because they cut out all the awesomeness.
The guy with Downs? The Downs guy?
Yeah.
That was fucked up.
Was it the guy Downs? Yes.
He was fucking massive though.
Yes. Yeah, I mean...
Tina Turner, right? Wasn't she like
you guys, what? Yes, Tina Turner was.
No, that's the Goonies.
The Goonies. I know what that is. I'm just saying.
Like I think I told you this. Maybe it might have even been the last podcast.
It was.
That's the one movie that I will always stop and watch. No
Yeah,
matter
the Goonies is. Dude, the Goonies never say die.
Never say die.
The episode of Unsolved Mysteries even prompted a former pilot to contact Jack and relay his account of that night in 1994.
There was a 747 pilot that wrote me after the Unsolved Mysteries documentary, and he did write me and said that the FAA did see something at his 12 o'clock.
Is it Fravor?
To identify it, he did. It was
He's a pilot.
1994 night.
But you know how many pilots seen shit? Like they were saying, a lot of commercial pilots see shit. Commercial pilots be seeing shit all of the time.
And he saw it.
So hold on, Mike, pause.
Did you just hear that too? Another pilot who was landing a 747 saw it.
Yep. Now that he said that, that's why I want you to pause it. If commercial pilots see this, don't commercial pilots fly international? And if these international commercial pilots see this shit as well, are they not reporting it back to their sovereign nations?
Well, that's what Graves said. Graves said there's active organizations
multinational
who are silencing this, and the pilots are afraid to get fired because if you say you've seen things in the sky, they think you're an alcoholic, you're on drugs, you're mentally compromised, and you can't be mentally compromised flying a plane.
Yeah,
he's going to talk about that probably.
You got a newspaper reporter that saw. You got police officers that reported on the ground. You got a pilot that a 747 pilot that saw it. You got the FAA that saw it on their radar, and then you got and then you have a meteorologist, a radar meteorologist that saw it. So you got all of them, and then plus 300 people in West Michigan that saw it too.
The alien craze is now more widespread than ever after a recent congressional hearing discussing UFO sightings by military personnel. Although the government now refers to these sightings as unidentified aerial.
These guys. So the guy in the middle, he could be there just to distract us from the Biden impeachment because
he gave up a lot of info. Whatever info
we don't know if it's true or not, though. The info.
But he talked a lot.
Yes, but the problem I have with him is, if you did a Newsmax or whatever it was interview, and you got paid for that interview, and you get paid for the views of that interview, you would do what he did. Sir, can you tell us if this happened or not? He goes, I can't say it here. In a private setting I could, or I can refer you to my Newsmax interview. He kept referring to them for them to go watch the Newsmax interview, which now you're on national television and everyone's going to see this, and they're referring to he's referring to that. He wants you to watch it because he's getting paid for you to watch it.
Through it. But I don't disbelieve that he is he seems like a person who is like, fuck you, I'm telling on all of you now.
Kind of.
He comes off like a whistleblower with
and the thing is,
he has a rhyme for his reasoning. You know, so
also,
all three
if you wanted to fake this, you get him, who no one knows who he is. He's the whistleblower, and you get the two guys next to him who people know about because of Joe Rogan, and many others.
Yeah.
To testify, and that's how you distract us all.
Yeah, well,
because people trust those two guys on the edges.
I don't totally espouse that belief, but I'm not going to say it's not plausible that this could be smokescreenish to a whole bunch of other shit that's going on.
Yeah, but if all the people are on the committee here for this, and there's no one on the committee for the Biden impeachment, I mean,
maybe these riots in Union Square is to make this all go away, or maybe the riots in Union Square to make all that
phenomenon, or
laptop
UAP are in our airspace.
The whole time we've been told the laptop story is nonsense, and now it literally is not. It kind of gets disturbing when a lot of these small conspiracy theories, but bits and pieces of them come true, and you're like, wait a second, you said these people are crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, you said the anti-vax people are crazy, but now we know for a fact that after you get the vaccine, after you get the second shot, you're more likely to get COVID.
When did I get COVID, Mike? When did I get COVID? less than 4 months after my second shot.
I got COVID. Wait, you didn't get the third booster?
No, I did it the beginning. I literally got my first shot to fly. Like, it was just, all right, I need to fly. And I was traveling. And the second one was for the same reason, because I was still traveling. I've never stopped moving around. And, you know, unapologetically, like, haven't really been inactive. I was inactive for, like, the first 6 weeks of COVID. And then I hit the ground running ever since. So
I mean, you guys were in Florida. It's like it was the best state. My dad was like, he's like, I was like, COVID was horrible. He's like, what? COVID was awesome. Like, what do you mean? He goes, I was at the bar every day.
There was no traffic for a while down here, which was like, fucking awesome. But you could be at the bar every day. Yeah.
My dad, even when the bars were supposed to be closed, which was a short period of time, like the counties were doing it or some nonsense.
And nobody abided.
And my dad's like, I was still there every day. He's like, it was great because it was just me and the bartender there all day, and he's my buddy all day long. Like, he's like, COVID was great.
Yeah. We went to the beach a bunch, and there wasn't a whole bunch of people at the beach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Dude, even when I used to went out, that's why I used to do all the urban exploring during COVID, because no cops were out either. No one was there to bother us. There was nobody there.
When you started doing that, I was like, this is the perfect fucking time for this. I said that. I was like, dude, this is the perfect time to do what many of us used to do, because I used to do that as a youth.
When I went to Pilgrim State,
in my late tweens and early 20s.
When I went to Pilgrim State in Long Island, I didn't know how to get there. I got lost. I found it, and I'm like, "There's no parking here. It's just you're in the middle of nowhere, but there's no parking, like a legal parking spot." So I'm gonna take my small little hoopty and drive off road to behind the hospital, park on the grass. And then when we searched the grounds, I forgot where the car was parked. It was bad. It was funny. Sucks. It was funny. But
we've done. Me and my friends did that in Staten Island at a cemetery. We went to Vanderbilt's tomb, and we forgot how to walk back. And because that thing was like a massive mausoleum, fucking huge. It's like the biggest fucking gray mausoleum I've ever seen in my life, in Staten Island. And where we parked by some like stone wall. But when we walked out through like black gates that we had to get in between, like a fence. And I'm like, where did we park? And I think we walked for almost an hour before we found the cars that we came there in.
I want to show you where. Hold on. So I decided to take my son urban exploring with me one day. And I go, I'm going to take you to a place where I know is safe. I've been there quite a few times. How come it looks terrible, though, in this map? I'll go to the other map. I've been there quite a few times. So the way in is just a wide, very big wide opening. We'll walk right in. That's it. It's very easy. So I go in there with him, and we walk around, and sure enough, we get lost. And we're lost for like 4 hours.
That's crazy.
So,
yo, dude, imagine you and your...
Look. This is in Staten Island as well.
That's a big fucking plot.
So we came in through, where's the baseball field? See the baseball field right here?
Yeah.
There's an entranceway right here. So when you walk in, you go down the main roads, and you say, I think we walked back here, came up here, went up to here, and got lost in here. Because I thought there was a way out in the fence over here, but I actually thought I was down here.
Dude, you know what would be crazy if you were like if you were like in there, right? You're taking your son, you're taking Sam urban exploring, and you're walking through, and you run into like another dad and his kid, and he's like, oh, hey, hey. And you'd be like, oh, you're here urban exploring, right? You'd be like, yeah, urban exploring. Yeah, my son really wants to go. You'd be like, oh, all right, cool. And then he walks over to you and he goes to your ear and he goes, hey, you're not here to kill your kid, are you? And you'd be like, no, I'm not fucking here to kill my kid. He goes, me neither. I'm not, me neither. Okay.
See,
later. And
you went in a different direction than me. I was gonna be like, I'm gonna go. Okay. You're not here to fuck. You're not here to fuck the kid, right? No. That's my son. No.
It's my fucking son. Be like, oh yeah, no, me neither.
And then his kid goes, can you take me home now? Like, I want to go back to my parents. I don't know you.
Oh shit.
Sorry, I went in a dark direction.
I'll take half the blame for that one.
This is also that video where we saw the hanging body. Remember I showed you this? This is where that was. Me and John got lost in here at night. It was kind of crazy.
It's a weird shaped sort of plot of land, and there's so many buildings.
And it's fenced in, and there's so many buildings.
And it's a lot of overgrowth probably too, right?
Here.
Like from it being abandoned.
Yes. Let me exit this photo to show you this. Like there's an interesting bridge. It's not here. So like it's creepy. This is the place Mark bailed on.
He was supposed to go with you guys?
He did go with us, and he leaves. You want to watch the video?
Where he bounces?
Yeah.
Why?
Let's see if I can find it.
We gotta watch this. How far in does he leave?
It's a short video.
You guys continued though, right? Like.
Yeah. I never actually edited that footage. I have it on my. Where is this motherfucker? Did he get rid of his YouTube channel?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if like if you're gonna find that now.
But so like we worked with a guy named Diego Papa, who's Chasing the Darkness TV. He's another YouTuber, so he came with us too. And Mark was just like, I'm not cut out for this. You guys are crazy. I don't think I could be here. Like, what? Sun hasn't even set yet, bro. It's not even nighttime. He goes, you guys just walk into the building. I'm like, yes. He's like, it's pitch black in there. The windows are boarded up.
We have
flashlights. Like, we have flashlights. He's like, yeah, but he was like, I'm not cut out for this. I was like, what?
I go in with headlamps, flashlights.
I use LED flashlights, which are way too bright. They actually take the fun out of it because you see everything.
I have a fucking mounted light underneath my fucking pistol too. Just like walking through like clearing corners and shit. You know what I mean? That's how you accidentally actually shoot a homeless man. That's actually how you accidentally shoot a homeless man.
Wow. His YouTube channel
speaking of fucking shooting something, fucking iguanas ate a piece of my cactus and I think got to the prickly part and stopped. So I think the cactus is working because it only took one bite out of the cactus. On the fresh part that grows, like sometimes a part will bud out and end up becoming a blade of cactus with spikes on it. But while it's still soft, it went and bit it and I think got fucking stuck and stopped. And I'm like, oh, all right.
So is that now Iguanas 2, Ryan 1?
I think I'll call that 1. Yeah, I definitely fucking because he didn't eat anything else around it, so it's working. But I don't know. I'm gonna still have to buy chicken wire. I still have to get the ammunition for these motherfuckers.
Do you know what you should do?
I'm gonna buy shotgun shells for these guys.
You're not gonna blast them with the shotguns in your backyard.
Not with the salt shot. I'll shoot them with.
Okay, that's different. I was gonna say, you know what you should do to make it like very. What's the word I'm looking for?
Beanbag shot with a beanbag.
I was gonna say
round.
very retro. Get a Red Ryder BB gun.
Oh, dude, air rifle? Fuck yeah! I thought about that. You know what? I wanted one. Actually, they have things that are just slightly smaller than a .22 caliber. That is in an air rifle that people do shoot fowl with. You could actually hunt geese and duck with it. I've seen people take.
Is it smaller than a .22?
It's a rifle. It's a full-on air rifle. The round is smaller than a .22. Yes, not the gun itself, but.
.17 HMR. What?
Plink, plink, plink. They're the smallest.
Yeah, but it's still a gun. It's not a BB gun, though. It's still a fucking bullet.
But it's not going to kill a human, I don't think.
I'm trying to see the size of it. It's not working.
I still want to have them. I still want to try them in an open court and then, sentence them to fucking be executed.
Oh shit! This shit'll still kill a person. It's a pointy .22.
Yeah, but it's very light. It moves fast because it's sort of shaped like a 5.56 round is. Like it's.
Yeah, it is. Interesting.
I've been getting very into just not firearms, but just bullets in general. Like, I want to just have a bullet of a gun that I'm never going to own. I just want to have a 50 cal, you know?
There was a guy...
Or like a what are they called? Beowulf, I think the round is called. Like,
There's a guy who's like a
Beowulf?
big gun guy, and he's a marksman. He competes professionally, I think, but he was talking shit because he's like, gun nuts want to talk shit about shooting Full Metal Jacket rounds. He's like, oh, you're not a real man unless you shoot a fucking hollow point. And he goes, okay, you ready for this, guys? He's like, shows the bullet. He goes, see this bullet? Nice shape, no hole in the middle. When I shoot this bullet, it goes, and guess what? It goes exactly where I want it to go. Now this one, this is a hollow point. This has a hole like this. If I shoot it, it's gonna go like this, and it's gonna move, and it's go that way.
But when it hits,
of course.
Yeah.
But he's like, wouldn't you want to be able to shoot the person accurately versus just spraying and praying?
They have rounds. I bought rounds for my 45 Colt, right? And there are blunt rounds that you just use for target practice, and then there are self-defense rounds that are fragmenting rounds, but it's cone shaped. It's like it's got some sort of red shit on the inside. I don't know what that does, but it definitely is not cool for whoever gets hit by it. And it only fans out when it hits the target, but it moves at the velocity of a Full Metal Jacket metal round because it is brass. It's encased, you know. But it will once it hits somebody or something.
It's gonna do some shit.
It'll open up.
You know what? We talked about what our favorite war movie was, didn't we? Didn't you say? Oh no, you said Kubrick. That was Kubrick. Favorite
was
movie.
Full Metal Jacket.
What's your favorite war movie?
Just in general,
yeah.
I think. Oh man, fuck. That's hard. I like. Okay. Can I say 3?
Sure.
Okay. I like, Full Metal Jacket is one of them. But I really like We Were Soldiers. I would say that was my number 1 for a while because of one of the lines. I don't know if we could maybe play it as an outro to today's episode because of how awesome it is. But one of the best lines in a movie that I love is in that. And then obviously like Saving Private Ryan is like really good.
Is that your third?
That's my third, yeah.
So what was number 1?
Full Metal.
Full Metal.
That's not number 1. Actually, We Were Soldiers is number 1.
And then Full Metal.
Then, yes.
See, I don't think Full Metal even makes my list. What was the line, by the way?
Okay, in We Were Soldiers, what happens is, do you remember the actor who played General Ross in the first Hulk movie? He was on that show with Ashton Kutcher.
Yes.
He was in that movie Mask. Okay. In his voice, and he played second to Mel Gibson's main character, right?
Yep.
Mel Gibson sits down because he's the leader of the same troop of soldiers that got taken down under Custer's lead and Little Bighorn.
Yep.
So Mel Gibson's character, right, is sitting down in the middle of a firefight, and the I think the NVA are coming down onto this like small troop of Army fucking Rangers who just got dropped in via helicopter because there's like Greg Kinnear plays a helicopter pilot in that movie. That what's his name? Sam Neill? Is it Sam? No, Sam. Not Sam Neill. Sam. The actor. Sam. Anyway. He walks up to Mel Gibson while Mel Gibson is saying, he's like, is this what, this must have been what Custer felt like when he realized he led his men to slaughter. This guy's like shooting NVA with the Colt 1911. Take, reloading, kick. He's like, sir, Custer was a pussy. Bang, bang, bang. You ain't. And that was like the most motivation. I was like, and then that whole battle turned, and they were able to get like their men out, and they actually took out a whole bunch of fucking NVA and got to their fucking bunker and their fucking like molehill, like because they literally had a system of tunnels just like built into the hillside. Yeah, that's my favorite line. He said, "Custer was a pussy. You ain't."
Did you hear it?
No, I didn't hear it.
I heard. I don't know if I could name 3. What War movies. Because I was going to say, what, in my opinion, the most war movie.
This is the most underrated war movie. In my
No,
opinion.
I think this is highly rated.
But it doesn't get as much praise because Mel Gibson is an anti-Semite and racist.
It
so.
doesn't matter. You know what I'm gonna say?
Which I'm speculating. I don't know if he is or not. I'm just like, I'm saying this is what the
Do you know what my
public opinion used to say.
my underrated war movie is? This is the last thing before we end our podcast.
What's that?
The most underrated war movie is Three Kings.
With Mark Wahlberg and Jamie Foxx? And
No,
Ice and
Mark Wahlberg, Ice Cube, and I forgot who the third person was.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
No, that was
I'm just guessing. Hurt Locker was really good.
That's on my list too, but I'm saying most underrated.
Could you consider like fucking like Braveheart a war movie? Could you consider?
Oh,
like,
it's George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, and I forgot it was George Clooney.
that takes place in Iraq.
Yeah.
Play this line. This line is so awesome. Mel Gibson thinks it's over.
I wonder what was going through Custer's mind when he realized it. Led his men into a slaughter. Sorry, Custer was a pussy. You ain't.
But he wasn't. He was shooting people just moments before that. He was just taking out one after one. It was just like
he was shooting people moments before that, but
this is based on a true story. He was just taking out one after one. AK-47s charging him with bayonets. Like and he's like
funny.
Pack.
It's crazy how the brain does that,
and he's like
funny.
Pack.
It's crazy how the brain does that,
He's like shooting around. I'm just shooting around.
It's crazy how the brain does that,
He's like shooting around.
Right?
One is shooting around.
It's crazy how the brain does that.
He's like shooting around.
Switch it around like this. That's crazy how does it make a difference if I do this? Does actually switch it around like this? I don't know. It's crazy how does it make a difference if I do this? Like what happens? Does it happen before or after? I don't know what's happening. Is it? Like what happens? Does it happen? Thanks for watching the Dumping on This podcast. Appreciate every time you watch. Have a great night. Check us out on Wednesdays, 10:30.